everyone in Bulgaria wants to race, because we are a racing nation, no matter what junk he has, so that's a nice thing. Oh, hi guys, it's the Moros Hacks, and in today's video we'll be driving Mercedes E-Class T model. This is the wagon model, the sleeping wagon model, and it's 224 horsepower and around 500 Newton meters of torque. This has V6 engine from the modern era. It's Evolution, it's 2008, so it's a facelift model, and you can see it's an Avangard trim, so it's pretty low. It has some good tires, 18-inch tires, so we're going to drive it on the curvy road today, some windy roads, to see how is Mercedes handling, because everyone says Mercedes is not so direct, it's not so good for extra urban spirited drive roads, and for some aggressive driving it's not so good and enjoyable. Let's see how this V6 will act on some extra urban roads, so stay with me until the end of this video. But first I'll put some fuel, because I don't want to be out of the fuel in the middle of some full throttle moment. So stay with me till the end of that video to see how these big things cope with some corners and some full throttle. Hope it will not break, guys, so fingers crossed that this thing will stay alive after this session. This car has 200,000 kilometers, but actually it's the real mileage is 328,000 kilometers, which is seen on the SAR diagnostic when connected to the OBD. So it's actually almost 330,000 kilometers Mercedes, which should be nothing for a diesel Mercedes in terms of reliability of the engine. But you know, some injectors, some turbos start to fail from time to time on this age and mileage, so these injectors are fine. We have checked them with a diagnostic. The turbo is also still fine. I hope it will not blow up now, and it always keeps the right temperature. So we have changed the water pump, we have changed all the belts, all the pulleys in front, so it should be fine. We changed some gaskets too. So let's see how this thing will behave on some full throttle. Always make sure you have enough oil in the system, enough antifreeze, braking fluid, hydraulic fluid, and also make sure your brake lines are not damaged, are not too old, because if they blow, you will blow away some tree too. So make sure your car is prepared before pushing it hard. Really matters. So do your thing and inspect the car before that. Of course, with old cars you never know, it's a machine after all, old machine. But let's believe to this Mercedes build quality, guys. Don't worry about this error top-up coolant. It's not actual error, because it's actually some sensor SAM model thing, which should be changed, but I cannot arrange the guy to change it so far. This car burns between 10 and 15 liters in the city, depending how you drive it, where you drive it, what time of the day you drive it, but normally it's around 13-14 in the city liters per 100 kilometers. Extra urban, this car can be very economical, can be around 6, 7, 8, depending how you drive, maybe 9 if you're crazy driving with 200 kilometers all the time, but overall it should be pretty good. Of course, on this curvy road, stop start with a lot of brake, a lot of full throttle, it won't be very good, but that's it. We also have two modes, C and S. I'm on S mode. I don't have agility mode, so I don't have the sport mode, so I'm on standard mode. Let's see how this gearbox will behave. I may use also the plus and minus to actually change the gears, but it's not very fast in that mode. The gearbox and the software is absolutely stock, so no any mods there. has a black ceiling and brown leather, as you can see. If you're wondering about this warning, it's because ESP is off. It's not like the BMWs. Here you cannot completely turn it off. It always leaves you to make some little swipe, but then it reacts, it gives you some brakes. If you want, you can put it in dyno mode here, but you lose your ABS, you lose some of the other systems. So here it's not so easy. This is a difference. This is a comfort car, but let's see, if you buy a comfort car, can you drive it from time to time crazy and on such curvy, windy extra-urban roads, and will you be happy with it? That's the purpose of this video, and you as a viewer to feel the car, to feel the emotion of driving it. Beautiful days, guys, today, and we're gonna drive this old lady sporty today on this beautiful road, guys, on this beautiful sunny road. Let's enjoy. Let's see the tires, and this is a facelift version, so see that diffuser much better looking than the pre-facelift version. It's dirty, but who cares, guys? Let's go and drive it. Let's use some gloves which are in the glove box. Okay, guys, let's drive this Mercedes Benz E-Class full throttle. Little understeering, after that oversteering. Let's try to use the manual mode. It's not so fast, but at least you can put some gear and use that gear only at the edge of the swipe. So how is Mercedes, guys? Mercedes leans more floaty, like boat feeling, which makes you feel nice when driving. Actually, this feeling is interesting because it doesn't help you in stiff cornering, but in high-speed cornering, but it makes you feel like you're driving something in the clouds. It's an Avangard edition, so it's stiffer than normal comfort car, but it's still a Mercedes, so there is some floating feeling, some boaty feeling, like boat, you're driving a boat. Some delay in the steering, it's not so fast, there is some delay. You do the input and you receive the result after that. You see, we reach a Google Maps cars, guys. So let's smile on Google Maps, and you can see me maybe on Google Maps sometime. Let's see if there will be a drifting car on Google Maps. Okay, let's not do that. Here is, we can accelerate. Brakes, how are the brakes? The brakes are good input, not the best, not so direct, but good input. It really makes fun, guys. It makes fun to drive this Mercedes, but you have to expect what Mercedes is. You don't have to expect it is a sports car, because it's not, and it will never be in a normal configuration, because the steering, the body roll, the body construction is not made to be stiff enough to hold you good in the corners. You just drive fast and comfortable. That's the best way I can describe the feeling. The brakes are good for now. I don't feel them overheating, but it's too early. The car is too heavy. I am not pushing it too much. You can feel where are the boundaries. You don't feel much where are your tires exactly. This is not something you feel here. but you can definitely enjoy with some slides from time to time. So yeah, typical Mercedes feeling, being little stiff. If you drive one E-Class, it feels like you have been driven many Mercedeses at once, because the feeling is very similar. So now you have me on Google Maps. This old Mercedes is also into the race. Let's go! He's wired with me. Let's get the pistons out of this engine. This old 190 is a very strong car. It's on LPG, guys. I see it's on LPG. So let's drive with them. Let's enjoy with the other old school Mercedes fan. It's not too much space, guys. It's not so powerful. Maybe a rim up will help. In having more power when needed. No, not enough power to overtake on this uphill. So definitely a rim up will be needed. If you need some more confidence in overtaking. Other than that, the V6 is pretty good accelerating, but when the car is driving faster in front of you, you need a lot more confidence. And the camera got too hot, but I'm after this commercial vehicle. He put a lot of throttle on the straight, so yeah, but on the corners he's slow, as you can see. So Mercedes is very good at high speed at the corners. That's what I can say. Yeah, it leans, but it holds very much of traction. As you can, if you saw my Bulgarian video, you see that I've driven after a Golf. Almost everyone in Bulgaria wants to race, because we are a racing nation. No matter what junk he has, he always races. So that's a nice thing when you want some pleasure and joy when driving. So guys, this was our driving of the Mercedes. As a conclusion, I'll say that if you want comfort most of the time, and when you have some curvy roads, you can still enjoy with your Mercedes. It's a good combination between Avangard and Mercedes, because it's stiffer when you want corners. It's not as good as BMW. So if you are more for driving, if you are more for a spirited drive, just don't buy a Mercedes, because normal Mercedes, I'm not talking about the AMG, I haven't tried them, because you don't feel so much steering. You cannot turn off completely everything. And actually the gearbox in this, without agility mode, maybe with agility mode will be better, but without it, it's not so direct, not so ready, not holding the RPM so good. The body roll is a little bit too much. There is some leaning, the coupe, the steering, and the brakes are pretty good, and the brakes too are not the best for such activities. So these normal cars are not intended, they don't feel like they're intended to be driven like this. They just feel good, they are fast on the corners, they can be very good, as you can see. They have higher limits, but at the same time you have to do something that the car is not made of, which I very much like to do, to take some car which is not made of for this. This car is never intended to be driven like this on such roads, especially. It's for a big straight roads with high speed, yeah, but with not so much tight and fast cornering. But overall I enjoy being in every four-wheel thing. So so you can subscribe to our channel and see more videos when they are such in English or Bulgarian language. Stay healthy, drive responsibly, and see you in the next video, guys. Bye.